Is it crazy to think that at the end of this season we could be talking about an extension for Mike McCarthy?
Well, I don't think that's crazy at all. That's not crazy. And listen, Mike McCarthy is an outstanding coach. I was listening to the game last night, watching it, and Aikman was talking about it, and he's reiterated that several times publicly. This Super Bowl winning coach. And Mike McCarthy has been there, done that. He's got great ideas. So bottom line is that in no place in my body language or anything else have you seen indications about what we're going to be doing relative to this staff at the end of this year. And we shouldn't. We got a lot of football left. I used to play 10 games in college.
Jesus, sweet Jesus, you guys. Welcome back. Welcome back. Just Simply Sports here with me. I am Kaja. Oh, God. Jerry Jones. Every time Jerry's is talking, which is a lot, I'm just like bracing myself for like, what is he going to say this time? Oh, man. If you're new here, welcome, like, subscribe. If you're not new, you've been here. I appreciate you. Thank you for continuing to support me. It means a lot. And again, happy early Thanksgiving. Jerry Jones. You know, I'm like running out of words when it comes to Jerry Jones because I wish that he would just sit down and just be quiet sometimes. I just feel like he needs, I don't know what this, I don't know, this validation. I don't know what you call it because he's the only owner, and he has the richest, franchise in the NFL, with the Dallas Cowboys. And I commend him on, how he has built the brand. But I'm just like, why do you always need to be in front of the camera? In the press conferences after the game, the media has to speak with him first before they speak to the coach and the team. I'm like, and then you have, the radio show, and then you're threatening people when they ask questions that you don't like, and you're threatening jobs. Like, what is going on? Like, why do you need to be in front of the camera so much? I'm just trying to figure out why that is. Like, this voice is really, really irritating. I'm like, why? Like, enjoy your millions, like, focus on it, building a winning team. But Jerry just says the most off things sometimes that don't make any sense. Like you say there's nothing in your body that has, given any inclination that you're not going to move on from Mike McCarthy. Well, why did you not give him a contract before the season? He's the only one that hasn't gotten the contract. You paid CD finally. You made Dak the highest NFL quarterback in history. And Mike McCarthy is pretty much out there coaching for his job, at least with the Dallas Cowboys, so to speak. So if you really feel that way, then why didn't you just pay him? So you're not being completely honest right there, or you just looking to have people talking about it, on ESPN and on YouTube, so to speak. Let's just be honest right here. I think Jerry wants to win, but I think he wants to win the way that he sees fit. And I think that he has a problem with admitting that he may have done something wrong. I think he has a problem with being accountable. I feel like when he picks out players, he picks out coaches, like you have to know, like you're not dumb. Like right, like I don't think he's dumb at all looking at, what he did with this brand. He's a businessman. So he's far from stupid. But you're making choices that are not smart. They're not like they're just not. I don't know who's advising him around him, his son, I don't know, like, but you pay CD and Dak late, and now you kind of handicap yourself moving forward with what you're able to do and who you can pay because you pay them all this money. You had Derrick Henry, who is out in Dallas in the offseason, who very much so wanted to be a part of Dallas Cowboys, who is ramming through people for the Baltimore Ravens. I mean, he is just bombarding people on that freaking field. Like you can't even stop him, like not without like the whole team trying to drag him down, like he's one hell of an asset, but you didn't have a conversation with him. When you say, oh, he wouldn't fit in the offense and we didn't have the money to pay him. You didn't even try. Like you didn't have a conversation with him. And he said, well, no, I'm not going to pay for you for that little bit of money. I want more. Like you didn't even bother to try. Like you see what you have is not working, and yet somewhere inside of you, you refuse to do anything differently. But then you expect to win a championship? Like that's what I don't understand. And then, I'm also gonna play a clip from Michael real quick, and then we're gonna get back to it real quick.
Yeah, I told you I'm not done yet. I don't plan on tanking. If the higher ups is looking for a draft pick, I hope that's ruined because we got a lot of football left to play. Like I said, as long as I'm a part of this team, we're always gonna fight. I'm always gonna give maximum effort. I owe it to these guys. I owe it to the fans that come out. I owe it to the brothers in the locker room. So me not playing at my best and me not being here, I'm hurting other people and their families. So, this is deeper than just wins. Like this is at one point, I think this is just about pride.
All right, you guys. So that was Micah, obviously. Now, I have no issues with what Micah said at all. As a player, you should very much have pride in what you're doing. You should not just be tanking for the sake of tanking so that you can get, more talent around you, whatever have you. That's not my job. That's for ownership to do. That's for management to do. I'm here to play and to put my best brand of football on the field and show people that I'm here. I'm here to show fans that, we don't take their kindness and, their hard-earned money for granted. I respect that so much. Props, to Micah, for having some passion, and conviction, and at least wanting, to finish the season as strong as they can. I always have someone who's optimistic. Now, I don't know why now, like at the end of the season, he was hurt for a lot of games, but I appreciate his leadership. At this point, though, realistically, I don't even know if it's going to make a difference, at least not for them. I will say, when you have teams with this mindset and you have teams who are trying to barely get in to that last, that last playoff spot, that wild card, you're at the bottom and you have teams like this, it can get real dangerous because they know they're not going to get in, but what they're going to do is make sure that you don't get in either, so they're going to make it real difficult for you to get that last spot. And hey, I don't blame them. You got to do what you got to do, right? But back to Jerry, Mike McCarthy absolutely is a good coach. I just feel like sometimes in relationships, like growth and change is necessary. And sometimes you have to move on. You just have to move on. I don't think with what they have, and I'm not going to blame it on Mike McCarthy because you only have CD, it's only but so much you can do with one offensive weapon. I mean, if he's hurt or he can't play, then what you doing? Then what are you doing? What are you doing? So it's only but so much you can do as a coach. You can try your damnedest to scheme and trick plays and everything. But if you only have one strong offensive weapon, everyone else around is still in development or they're good, but not as good, then you're only going to go so far anyway. Even when they had the better team, the better roster, they was still a 12-5 team, like out of playoffs first round every single time. So I don't know what Jerry is trying to accomplish with the Dallas Cowboys. I honestly don't. It seems like to me, the goal is to just get to the playoffs or almost get there or just have like a winning season, so to speak, and nothing more at all. Because there's no way that Jerry, his son, can look at this roster and look at what's happened and also look at what everyone else around him is doing. Because your team is one thing, but everyone else around you is leveling up, continue to level up. Detroit Lions, you have Baltimore Ravens, Buffalo Bills are making moves. Everybody's trying to make moves the best way that they can, and you're just hell bent on staying in one place. And then you expect to win a Super Bowl with this roster, with this coach, the way it's constructed. Like, it's not making sense. And I'm not saying that Mike McCarthy should be fired. I don't want to ever advocate for someone to lose their job because people have bills, people have livelihoods, kids, grandkids, he's a little bit older, and no one wants to lose their job, right before the season, and around the holidays, even without the holidays, right? But just because he's a great coach doesn't mean he's the coach to lead your franchise, and that's the difference. I think that Jerry, whatever is going on inside of him, I feel like he needs to be the face, he needs to be the voice, he needs to be in control of every single thing. And because he can't seem to relinquish control, I don't think that he's going to get Super Bowl anytime soon, in spite of how awesome Dak may play next season, in spite of how awesome CD, how many touchdowns he may get, how many, tackles and whatnot, Micah gets. I I don't see how it's going to lead him to a championship. I just don't. I don't know what's going on with Jerry, but I'm hoping that someone around him will have a much needed conversation with him at some point and say, look, like we need, to try something different. Hopefully maybe his son it's always somebody that can reach you. Maybe his son will be the one to be like, Dad, look, like we know that you love, Mike, know that, you love this person and that one, but we need to bring some more weapons in here because this is not going to work. And why are you kicking out $60 freaking million for a quarterback who you're not going to set up to have the best possible roster so that they can win? Like the Eagles, like they spared no expense. They got Saquon. They moved a lot of pieces around so that Jalen has no excuse, or Coach Nick Sirianni to not get back to the Super Bowl, or to ultimately win it. There's no excuses. That offense is loaded. So we gave you everything that we had. We spared no expense. Now it's on you. What you're gonna do. You know what I mean? Jerry is not even trying to do that. So I don't know. But what do you guys think about these Cowboys? Oh, goodness. Like when a few weeks, we're not going to talk about these Cowboys no more. And now, honestly, I'll be glad because Jerry is like driving me to drink. And as you guys know, I don't even drink. I don't smoke. But Jerry, I'm like, every time I hear Jerry say something, I'm like, oh God, what did Jerry say this time? What did he say this time? What do you guys think though about the Cowboys and about the rest of their season? Do you think it's possible the Cowboys can make some noise and, offend some folks, upset some folks? Or are you like, hang it up? It's absolutely over and done with. Let me know in those comments. And of course, I will see you in the next video.